Morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Round Baseball's live commentary of the DuPont Professional Baseball League. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Yokohama DeNA BayStars and the Chunichi Dragons. It is a rare Monday afternoon game in Japan, as it is a holiday in the land of the rising sun. There'll be afternoon baseball today and tomorrow. We'll be on the call for both games today and tomorrow, as we'll be picking up another one a little later on today, as we will choose which one we'll do based on the pitching matchup. And then they've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday games. They're getting a rare Thursday off, and then the action resumes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the NPB. So a little bit of a different week in terms of the scheduling. Not a lot of Monday games are played, but today is an exception to the rule. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups from the visitors from Yokohama, as they are going to be taking on the Dragons here tonight. Leading off and in center field is going to be Masayuki Kuwahara, as he will make his season debut for the BayStars. Batting second at second base is number 2, Shigomaki. Batting third in left field is number 4, Ryuku Ratari. Hitting in the cleanup spot is Tyler Austin. He'll play first base and wear number 3. Batting fifth in right field is number 61, Tatsuo Ibina. Batting in the sixth spot and playing third base tonight is number 26, Masaki Momori. Doing the catching and batting seventh is number 50, Yuda Yamamoto. Hitting eighth at shortstop wearing number 00 is Takumu Hayashi. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is number 69, Anthony Kay. And they're going to be facing Yumero Kanamura. Be an interesting one here. Kanamura making his NPB debut, as we'll be on the call for this one. He was the top pick of the Dragons in the 2024 draft back in November. So he is making his debut tonight for the Dragons in front of a full house. So the left-hander will take to the hill. We'll see how he looks, and if he is of value, at least for the Dragons with their pick. The starting lineup now for the home team for Chunichi. It'll be leading off in center field, number 1, Yuki Okabayashi. Batting second and playing second base is number 60, that's Yasuhiro Yamamoto. Hitting third and left field is number 51, Seiji Ubiashi. The cleanup spot and playing third base is number 4, Orlando Calixte. Hitting fifth at first base is number 6, Sho Nakata. Batting sixth in right field is number 55, Seo Hosokawa. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 35, Takuya Kinoshita. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 95, Christian Rodriguez. At batting ninth and doing the pitching, as we said, making his debut is Yumero Kanamura, and they are going to be facing Anthony Kay, who takes to the hill with a 2-1 record. He's worked 27 innings. He's allowed 22 hits, 3 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 28. Well, those are your starting lineups for the two ball clubs. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for ducking in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Dragons and BayStars when we return in just a couple of moments. Right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We do know baseball, and the first pitch is about a minute and change away here as the Dragons have taken to the field. It is Dragons and BayStars, the first of a three-game series. Will take place here in Nagoya as the left-hander Yumeno Kanamura is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one underway in just a couple moments. It's slated to go off at 2 o'clock local time in the afternoon. This game here is just a little bit behind schedule as the lefty has almost finished it off. Our friend Harrison is in the house tonight as we are about ready to take a look at this lefty here. The 22-year-old, as we said, was the top pick over in the NPB draft in 2024. For those of you who are joining us, the 2024 draft is held in November. And so it is after the regular season. So he is making his debut for the Dragons here in this one. So what can we expect? Well, not 100% sure. Really haven't seen the advanced scouting reports on the lefty. But a big day to make his debut in front of the home crowd. A sellout crowd in Nagoya for this one. So it could be a stellar day. You never know how it is. I wonder how the Dragons will deal with them, if they're going to use kid gloves with them, or if they'll let him ride a few innings if he is doing pretty well. Sometimes the players, they might have some early jitters or nervousness. Well, I guess we'll have to see how his pitch count will play out. So that is where we at here. Our friend Harrison says he'll be here for 2 innings. He has an 8 a.m. Harrison still hasn't followed our advice by staying up all through the night. Our friend Randy Jarrow is here. Must be a slow night at the hotel tonight. We're welcoming him into the stream as well. Appreciate everybody for being here. Well, he has completed his tune-up tosses. We're ready to get this one underway, as it is going to be Masayuki Kuwahara coming to the plate for his season debut. As Kuwahara had missed quite a bit of time, a big part of the Yokohama offense in 2024, as he will step in here to face the lefty Kanamura. And we are about ready to get this one underway, as it is going to be the first pitch at 2:02 local time in the afternoon. And the first pitch is on the way. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Kuwahara. So that first pitch on the board. Lefty getting his sign from his catcher Kinoshita. Dragons are in the all-white. BayStars are with the white pants and their traditional blue top with the white pinstripe. Fastball misses up and in, and the count now goes even at 1-1. That last pitch was at 94 miles an hour from the lefty. Keep an eye on the velocity that he can bring. So Kanamura rocking himself into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Afternoon Japanese baseball in the week. Randy says, can I blame you for hurting Shota? I don't know about that one. We're a big fan of Shota Imanaga. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, as he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. Is grounded over to Rodriguez at short. He fires over to first, and that is going to retire Kuwahara. So ground out 6-3 to start the ball game. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Sure, be a lot of relief there for that young left-hander. So Maki stepping to the plate. He's hitting .286 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 21 RBIs. He was the only run in last night's ball game. I hadn't seen what the Cubs, I think the Cubs lost today 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Maki. BayStars split that series with the Giants. It was Trevor Bauer getting the win on the Saturday ball game, the Sunday ball game. He took the loss yesterday. There's a fastball drilled foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count goes to 0-2 on Mackey. Mackey definitely not fooled on that pitch, but he got way out in front. So no balls and 2 strikes. The left-hander Kanamura ready to go again. He rocks himself into a very slow windup, and then he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. 94 miles an hour, and he blows it by Mackey for the second out of the innings. So 2 up and 2 away. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder with Ryuki Watari. Well, for Watari, he is hitting .274 on the year. He's got himself a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. Again, the left-hander ready to go back to work. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into deep left field, moving back on it, and then backpedaling to make the catch is Ubiyashi, and that is going to do it as the BayStars go quietly here in their half of the first inning. So a pretty successful first inning for the young left-hander as he retires the BayStars in order here in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are through a half inning. It is the BayStars nothing and the Dragons coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for ducking in with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We've got ourselves a 0-0 ball game, and it is going to be the Dragons coming to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is BayStars and Dragons when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Okabayashi, Yamamoto, and Ubiyashi to come to bat here for the Dragons against Anthony Kay in their first inning. The breaking ball misses down and away. The count is quickly 1-0. Our friend Phil Cantalon in the house tonight. Welcome, Phil. Appreciate you for hanging out here with us tonight. As the lefty Kay delivers a fastball that's grounded up the middle, fielding it on the backhand side, and throwing to first is Mackey. What a play there by the second baseman of the BayStars, as that is going to be a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning. And you had to hurry to get him because Okabayashi can run really well. But he is in the books for the first out. That's going to bring Yasuhiro Yamamoto to the plate. 31-year-old getting the start at second base tonight. He is hitting .229 in the early going, and the first pitch fastball misses down for a ball. Count is 1-0. Defensively tonight for the BayStars from left to right field, Watari is in left. The center fielder is Kuwahara with the right fielder, Ibina. There's a fastball swung on it. Is drilled into deep right field, moving back and making the catch while he's falling down on the warning track is the right fielder, Ibina. Oh, that is a deep breath that he had to take there. And that is going to retire Yamamoto for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. That'll bring up the left fielder in Seiji Ubiyashi. Well, two quick outs here for the Dragons. Just around the horn, we'll go for the BayStars here. We'll finish off their lineup. It is Austin at first, Mackey at second, the shortstop Hayashi with the third baseman Momori, the battery of Kei and Yamamoto. So two quick outs here as Kei delivers a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Ubiashi. Sage Ubiashi hitting .298 on the season, a couple homers and 14 runs batted in. Left-hander against the left-hander. Kei rocks and delivers a breaking ball missing way outside. The count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Phil says, "Let's go Dragons." As the lefty kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on and missed. That pitch there was at 96 miles an hour from Anthony Kei. I didn't realize he could dial it back or dial it up that much. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the lefty delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is fouled right into the catcher, Yamamoto. Count is 2-2. Taking a look at the MLB score lines, I was curious to see exactly who that was or which Cameron that would be. I didn't know Mike Cameron had a second son. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is hit over to the first baseman, Austin. He's going to step on the bag, and that is going to retire Ubiashi on a ground out to 3 for the third out of the inning. So just as the BayStars went quickly in their half of the first, the Dragons go quicker in their half. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1 complete. It is the BayStars no score and the Dragons no score. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. It is BayStars and Dragons when we return. Everybody, Kanemaru has completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action as it'll be the heart of the order, Tyler Austin, Tetsuo Ibino, and Masaki Momori to come to bat here for the BayStars in inning number 2. Just a little fact check on our friend Randy over there. Randy, Daz Cameron, it was probably his Brewer debut today. He had made his big league debut with the Detroit Tigers a few years ago. He'd spent time also with the Baltimore Orioles, Oakland A's organizations, as he has landed in Milwaukee. Originally was with the Astros, was part of the Verlander trade to Detroit. As the first pitch fastball is taken for a called strike, the count's 0-1. So Daz Cameron, I remember him quite well in watching that. But yeah, more than likely his Brew Crew debut. So Austin batting here, hitting .227, no homers and 3 RBIs. He had missed quite a bit of time through a lower body injury. As the 0-1 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Austin. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Daz Cameron, obviously, they're hoping to have him be a late bloomer, much like his dad. His dad didn't really blossom until he was 28 or 9 years old. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. Randy says, Mike, the father, looks like he could still play. Yeah, some pretty good genetics over there. That is for certain. dad was a very good athlete. And that's what they see in his son as well, although his son not the ball player at this point, even close to what the dad was, but good genes, obviously. Fastball misses down and in, and the count's now 3-1 to Austin. Defensively tonight for the Dragons from left to right field, Ubiashi in left, Okabayashi in center, and Hosokawa is in right. As the lefty ready to go again. Kanamura rocks into that slow windup and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the seats, and the count now goes full to Tyler Austin. Around the horn from first to third for the Dragons, it's Shonakata at first. The second baseman is Yamamoto. At shortstop, it's Christian Rodriguez tonight with Calixte at third. And the battery is Kanamura and Kinoshita. Probably a good idea that Kinoshita is taking the young lefty under his wing, the veteran catcher. As the lefty ready to go, Kanamura kicks and delivers. The 3-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted down the right field line. That is going to slice into the seats, and the count remains at 3-2. Harrison says, why do so many students pull all-nighters? Because you get to sleep in the afternoon. It's kind of obvious. Either that or a lot of extra beer or whatever else, caffeine to keep you going. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the lefty rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on. It is on the fist, but it's going to be fouled off over on the first base side, and the count remains at 3-2 strikes. Austin to be followed by Ibina and Mamori here in the second inning. BayStars are in fifth place in the Central League. The Dragons are currently seated in the fourth spot. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. That's going to be ball 4. And Tyler Austin's going to get himself a leadoff walk here to begin the second inning. And that is going to bring up Tetsuo Ibina. Well, for Ibina, sitting 227 on the campaign, no homers and 5 RBIs. We were commenting on the last couple of games that we saw the BayStars that, in Ibina's case, probably wouldn't want anything to do with us. Every time I watch Ibina play, I don't know if I've seen him have more than 1 or 2 hits the entire season. Average is at 227. I could have sworn a few nights ago it was like around 250. So the left-hander ready to go here as he holds himself to the set and now delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lifted foul. It's going to be into the seats down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Ibina. So no balls and 1 strike. To answer St. ZX's question, the answer is pretty simple, and that would be no. We don't put the links in the chats. So no balls and 1 strike as the left-hander is ready to go. And he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. We provide live commentary. That is what we do. If you want a feed to watch the game, then you got to go and dig for it on your own. Sometimes some of the folks, and even ourselves, if you've been on our channel enough, you could go back and listen to one of the hundreds of games that we've done. You can get some of that information from some of the other places in our channel. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Oh, Ibina stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 1, and that is going to put him in the books. So 1 gone here, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Masaki Momori. Not sure what Ibina was looking at. That pitch looked like it was pretty darn good. Certainly above the knees and hit the spot of the catcher who was set up on the inside corner. So the lefty is ready to go here as Masaki Momori steps in at the plate. Phil Cantelon says double play candidate or backward K. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into right field through the 4-hole, as then is going to be station-to-station baseball here as Tyler Austin is going to stop at second. Mamori's got himself a single, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Yudai Yamamoto. Yamamoto is definitely a double play candidate, as he is not particularly run as well as some of the others. Interesting the way they put the lineup together. You've got Ibina, who's okay runner, and then you got Mamori, who is very quick. And you've surrounded him with a couple of snowplows in your lineup. So Yudai Yamamoto coming to the plate. He's hitting 200 on the season, no homers and 11 RBIs. As the lefty leans in and gets the sign from his catcher. Checks the runner at second, now delivers. There's a slow breaking ball that misses way upstairs, and the count is quickly 1-0. Only 8 pitches in the first inning for the lefty Katamura. But he has had to work a little bit harder here in inning number 2. So the lefty working himself to the set. Checks the runner. Now kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Yamamoto did not go around. That's going to run the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Often see how the young pitchers are able to get themselves out of a jam early on. So Katamura here pitching with runners at first and second, 1 gone. As the lefty holds himself to the set, checks the runner at second, now delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs. It's now 3-0 to Yamamoto. Just as a programming note, we'll also be on the airwaves again early tomorrow, where it's looking like it'll probably be the series that is going to feature probably the fighters. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. We'll dip over into the Pacific League versus some action. Haven't done a whole lot of Pacific League stuff, as it is the Buffaloes and the fighters from the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. So hopefully you guys can pop in for that as well. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Yamamoto. Lefty works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into the seats, foul behind home plate, and the count now goes full to Yamamoto. Yamamoto had probably swung at ball 4. That pitch was up in the zone. But now the count runs full here to the catcher of the BayStars. Friend Harrison asks, what time tomorrow night? It'll be the same time. It'll be 10 p.m. Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. So if you're up and around, you can join us for that as well. We're just going to do a double take on to see who exactly the starting pitchers will be for that one tomorrow. That could be a separator. There's a ground ball hit over to third. Calixte fields it. He throws it to second for 1. Back to first. There's your double play candidate for our friend Phil. That is going to be a 5-4-3 variety. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the second inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the BayStars 0 and the Dragons 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all your action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The left-hander Anthony Kay has just completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one back underway. It'll be Orlando Calixte, Shonakata, and Seo Hosokawa to come to bat here for the Dragons in their half of inning number 2. Calixte stepping to the plate, hitting .246 on the year, no homers and 8 runs driven in. It's the start at third base here tonight. I haven't seen Calixte in a while. Last time we saw him, he was playing a little of the one bag for the Dragons, as there's a breaking ball that misses inside, goes all the way to the backstop, and the count is 1-0. Only 9 pitches in the first inning for the left-hander Anthony Kay, as he is working himself into the delivery. The pitch on the way as a fastball swung on it is lifted into left center field. Plenty of room, plenty of space there for the center fielder Kuwahara, who makes the catch, and that is going to retire Calixte for the first out of the inning. One gone, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Shonakata. Well, for Nakata, he's hitting an even 200 on the year. He's got a couple of homers and 4 RBIs. As he steps to the plate here to face Anthony Kay. Anthony Kay has been very, very good this year. We said at the outset, 27 innings pitched, only 3 earned runs, but the other number that's very interesting, only 3 walks allowed so far, as that fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count is quickly 1-1 to Nakata. In his career, or last year versus Anthony Kay, he was 1 for 3 was Nakata, as he swings and fouls that pitch away. The count now goes to 0-2. Harrison is counting down his outs here. You could probably stick around for a couple more. These have been some fast innings here, Harrison. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nakata. A long time Hokkaido Nippon ham fighter, spent a couple of seasons in a Murray Giant uniform. But he is at the twilight of his career. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seo Hosokawa waiting his turn on deck, a former BayStar. As the pitch is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Nakata's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it up to the right fielder, Hosokawa. As we mentioned, Hosokawa, the one-time BayStar, as he comes to the plate here. He had spent the early part of his career in Yokohama. He came to the Dragons in 2023. He's had back-to-back seasons of 20 or more home runs. 24 homers in the 2023 year and 23 homers in the 2024 year. He is off to a very slow start this year. There's a first pitch breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 0-1. Batting .195 with a couple of homers and 7 runs batted in. As the left-hander gets his sign, he's ready to go back at it and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, chopped over to third, fielded by Momori on the run. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Hosokawa. It's a ground out 5-3, and that will do it here in the second inning for the Dragons. They go quietly and in order. 6 in a row retired by Anthony Kay. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the third inning. Your score is the BayStars nothing and the Dragons nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Right after this with more action, as our friend Harrison is tapping out for the night. Glad he could make it in, even if it was for a little bit. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into the third inning. It is going to be Hayashi, K, and the top of the order, Kuwahara, to come to bat here. As we just have a little bit of work to do on our back end as the lefty is just completing his tune-up tosses. We'll be ready to resume the action in just a couple of moments as Kanemaru is completing his warm-ups here. As we are just taking a couple of pieces here. What do we have? A couple of odds and ends that we're cleaning up at our end. As Kanemaru ready to get this one underway as the left-hander stands in here, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taking for a call strike. It is Takumu Hayashi is batting here, hitting .211 on the year. As the left-hander ready to go again, he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on and it's grounded over to the first base side. Count now quickly goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Kanemaru ready to go again as he gets the sign from his catcher. He slowly works himself into the windup. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hayashi, K, and Kuwahara, as we said, to come to bat here in the third inning for the BayStars. As the left-hander ready to go again, Kanemaru kicks and delivers. There's a fastball waved at and missed. And Hayashi is gone in quick order. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That will be the third strikeout tonight, recorded by the rookie left-hander. So 1 in the books, and that'll bring up Anthony K. Well, for Anthony K, he's hitting .250 in the early going. 30-year-old batting from the left side here against the left-hander Kanemaru. He is 1 for 4 on the season. As the first pitch is on its way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Okay, waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the left-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. I have to say, though, that Anthony K kind of looks overmatched here. He looks like almost looks like sometimes when the pitchers hit, it's like pros versus Joes. There's a fastball waved out and missed, and he's in the books for the second out of the inning. I don't know if anybody remembers that from years ago where they would have a ex-retired professional athlete, and they would have some fan that would compete against them or whatever in competition and a variety of things. I think Jerry Rice was involved with that, the former NFL player, and others. So it was kind of funny. Pros versus Joes. Every once in a while you get a Joe who is pretty good. As the left-hander Kanemaru ready to go, he kicks and delivers. The first pitch delivered to Kuwahara as a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Kuwahara 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short to start the ball game. Left-hander against the right-hander. This is his season debut tonight is for Kuwahara. Had not played in the lineup at all for the BayStars to this point. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the right field line. It reaches the seats, so the count is 0-2. Harrison says he's back for another BayStar inning. Well, if they keep putting up zeros, you might want to call it a night there, Harrison. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. As the lefty kicks and delivers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball goes off the glove of the catcher all the way to the backstop. Count now 1-2 here to Kuwahara. The games we called the last couple nights, even though they to say they sort of seemed like they were at a pretty good clip. Both games ended up in under 3 hours time. I just have a funny feeling that tonight's game is probably not going to be in that realm of possibility. I just have a feeling we're going north of 3 here. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count goes to 2-2. Kuwahara is not exactly the quickest pitcher. So to speak, as the lefty ready to go again, he rocks himself into the windup. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the netting on the first base side of home plate. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rare Monday baseball in Japan. As the left-hander Kanemaru ready to go again. Getting the sign from Kinoshita. Now he steps off and they reset themselves as the 2-2 is on the way. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted foul into the screen behind home plate. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shugomaki is on deck. Should Kuwahara be able to extend the inning? As the lefty again gets his sign and he's ready to go. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Again, Kanemaru rocking slowly into the windup, and he pitches and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. Grounded softly to short. Charging hard is Rodriguez, and he fires it away. That's going to be an error, and set to retrieve it is the second baseman Yamamoto. So Rodriguez, who is making only his second appearance of the year for the Dragons, spikes that one into the ground. Strange, they're going to give him both a hit and an error on that. I'm not so sure about that. It's a bit of a home cooking type of call. So the single for Kuwahara, I guess the scorer figures he would have had the base hit anyway. The needless throw error on the shortstop advances him over to second base. It's going to bring up the second baseman in Shugomaki. We'll get a look at the replay again. It was a really slow hit ball. He had to field it, and not only do I not think it was a hit, even though they gave him a hit, he had the double clutch out of the glove. That was more the problem than anything. When he had the double pump, that's what caused the poor throw, the bad timing. The second baseman, there is a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. Mackey tonight 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. It was the first strikeout for the left-hander Kanemaru. You have to probably say Kanemaru would probably be pretty happy with that. First strikeout in his big league career. He got Shugomaki, one of the finer hitters in the Central League, and arguably one of the best hitters in all the Japanese game. Here's the 0-1. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's hook-barreled foul into the left field corner. Oh, that wasn't pulled foul by much. Count goes to 0-2 on Mackey. This would be a great opportunity here for the lefty. If he had something where it was a changeup that he could pull the chain on here, he might get Mackey really out in front. All right, Harrison, you have a good night. We will catch up with you again probably in tomorrow's stream. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shugomaki. A runner at second is Kuwahara. There's 2 gone here in the third inning. Lefty Kanemaru holds to the set. He checks the runner, now delivers. Breaking ball misses well outside. The count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That can kind of drive you crackers. That could prolong the inning here. Might have been out of the inning on 40 pitches. Instead, now he's going to be approaching the 50 pitch mark, or at least the mid-40s by the time he's done this inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-2 on Mackey. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting second baseman of the BayStars. And the lefty works himself to the set position. Here comes the 2-2. As he checks the runner and now delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded back up the middle. Fielded neatly by the second baseman Yamamoto, and he's going to throw to first. That's a ground out 4-3, and that's going to do it. So the error doesn't cause any damage here in the inning, as Mackey is going to be gone for the third out there. There was no runs in the inning. Ironically, they did award a hit. There was one error, and there was one runner left to board. Your score as we move now to the bottom of the third. It is the BayStars nothing and the Dragons nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Drops Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It is Anthony Kay taking to the hill here for his third inning work. He has retired the first 6 batters that he has faced. It will be Takuya Kinoshita, Christian Rodriguez, and then the pitcher Yamato Kanamura to face the lefty here. 33-year-old veteran catcher Kinoshita stepping in. Batting .258 on the year with a homer and 6 runs driven in. Ready to face the lefty. K takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Left-hander against the right-hander. K working himself into the windup as he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 1-1. Only 18 pitches for K in the first 2 innings, as he has been very, very sharp in this one already, as the 1-1 is on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Racing back on the warning track and looking up, and this one is gone. A home run for Kinoshita, as he has given the Dragons a 1-0 lead. The words out of my mouth were, is Anthony Kay has been sharp to this point, and the first hit that he allows has left the park, as Kinoshita has hit his second homer of the year to give the Dragons a 1-0 lead. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Christian Rodriguez. Well, for Rodriguez, he is 0 for 1 in the season, as he is making his second appearance, first start here for the Chunichi Ball Club. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul down the third baseline. And the count is quickly 0-1. Rodriguez getting the nod at shortstop, the 23-year-old. Not only did he get the start tonight, he got his first error out of the way as well in that last half inning, as the pitch on the way as a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly over to short. Fielded on the run. It is thrown offline, but a nice play there by Tyler Austin. Hayashi's throw took Austin up the first baseline toward home plate. He was able to retreat or to make the catch and apply the tag to Rodriguez. So he ground out 6-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the pitcher Yamato Kanamura. Well, for Kanamura, this will be his first NPB at bat, as he steps in here ready to face the lefty K, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Kanemaru also bats from the left side, the 22-year-old. And the pitch on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The only blemish so far for Anthony Kay is the home run here in the 3rd inning. There was a fastball waved at and missed. And that is going to put Kanemaru in the books for the 2nd out. So his first professional bat is over. As it ends in a strikeout, he's gone for the 2nd out of the inning. I'll bring up the top of the order in Yuki Okabayashi. Or for Okabayashi, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up, hitting .271 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Biashi is a pretty good everyday center fielder. Has good jumps on the ball as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. They have good jumps on the ball, good reads. He also can steal some bases. He's already got 5 this year. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. Phil says, great to get a run off this pitcher. Yeah, Anthony Kay has been very, very good in 2025. 1-2 is on the way. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even at 2-2. Anytime you can get a couple of runs here and there, it's especially when you're an offensively starved team like the Dragons can be at times. Well, the runs you can get certainly count and can pay off. There's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2 to Okabayashi. I'd argue and say that this is one of the stronger offensive lineups that Chunichi can roll out. I'm not so sure about the BayStars. They're missing a couple of key ingredients. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes full to Okabayashi. No Miyazaki, no Setsugo. And the lineup for the BayStars tonight. Again, the lefty K delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. It's going to be the first free pass issued here by the left-hander in this one. That's going to bring up Yasuhiro Yamamoto. So high fives all the way around as Okabayashi reaches base. That brings Yamamoto to the plate. Well, Yamamoto batting .229. No homers and a couple RBIs, or at least the end of the game batting .229. He's slipped to .224 now. As the first pitch on the way, it's a fastball that comes inside, almost hits the second baseman. As he moves him off the plate, the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty K leaning in, getting his sign. Now he works himself to the set. He checks the runner over at first. There's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Mamori fields it. He throws to first. That's going to do it. It looked like the bat had splinters flying everywhere from Yamamoto, but he's going to go in the books on a ground out 5-3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it. But the Dragons get a run in the inning on the solo shot by Kinoshita. 1 run on 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top half of inning number 4. 1/3 of the game's in the books. It is a 1-0 Dragons lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars in their half of inning number 4. It'll be Watari, Austin, and Ibina to face the rookie left-hander Kanamura here, who will start his 4th inning of work. So Kanamura ready to get back on the hill here, as he is going to be facing the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. So Kanamura ready to go as the left-handed hitting Watari steps in. 0 for 1 today as he flew out to the left fielder his first time up. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Ironically, in this game, 1 run might be all the Dragons will need if they can get some pretty good pitching. As Kanamura kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Full slate of games across the NPB today. We'll get you caught up with that in just a little bit. There are the early starts here, as the breaking ball is swung on as tap foul over on the first base side. Count goes to 1-2. The other early game that is underway, or is about to get underway, is at the Zozo Marine Stadium. It is the Eagles and the Marines. All the other games go off at approximately 2 a.m. Pacific, 5 a.m. Eastern, or 6 o'clock Japan time. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Watari. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. That pitch did not miss by much, as the left-hander again kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, it is grounded up the middle, fielded by the second baseman Yamamoto, who throws on the run, and that is going to retire Watari. I don't know if that hit the pitcher or not. We're going to have to take a look. It was a comeback or no, it actually hit the mound and changed directions a little bit. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. Thought it might have hit the glove of the pitcher. It's kind of a weird hop. But just where it hit on the mound ended up deflecting over towards the second baseman, who was able to get around the ball to make the play. That brings Tyler Austin to the plate. Austin walked his first time up, as the left-hander rocks himself into the windup, and he kicks and fires a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Austin 5 for 22 on the season. As we said, he'd missed some time with some lower body troubles, as the 1-0 pitch is on the way here. As Kanamura delivers a slow breaking ball that misses down. It was kind of weird. The catcher, Kinoshita, just dropped the ball. It was like he didn't even know where it was. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Jimmy Feltner in the house here tonight. Welcome, Jimmy. Appreciate you for hanging out here with us. You got yourself a 1-0 lead for the Dragons over the BayStars here in the 4th inning, as the left-hander ready to go again. Kanamura kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball down. Oh, but they say that he went around. I don't know. I want to see the replay of that one. Ball was down at his ankles, and Austin trying to hold up. We'll get a look at that one there. Oh, they needed to go for some help, but Home plate umpire made the call. I'm not so sure about that. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. A little bit of home cooking there for the Dragons, that's for certain. As the 2-1 is ready to go, as he rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Live NPB coverage is Yokohama against the Dragons. So we're giving you the live commentary here in English. Hopefully you guys will appreciate this. Is the left-hander Kanamura ready to go again? He rocks into the windup and delivers. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. Oh, it looked like Austin wanted to swing it up, tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. So full count it is here to the American first baseman of the BayStars. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As Kanamura ready to go. As he rocks into the motion and delivers. Here's the 3-2. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside. That's going to be ball 4. Second time tonight, Austin's going to get himself a walk. Our friend WDBZ in the house. He says, always got that good baseball commentary. We appreciate you for being here. So with 1 out, that's going to bring Tetsuo Ibina to the plate with a runner at first. Ibina went down looking on strikes in the second inning. He's 0 for 1 here tonight on this one. And as a reminder, as we've been saying throughout the evening, we're going to be back on the airwaves tomorrow. It'll be Buffaloes and Fighters. We're going to bounce over to the Pacific League. We said we wanted to do a lot of games in the Central League this year. That was what our goal was. But tomorrow night, we want to go back to the Pacific League and check in on some of the action there. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on its lifted foul down the right field line. Count is 0-1 to Ibina. They won't announce the starters for that game till a little bit later on. They do have some other games that are going to be slated to go off tomorrow as well. There'll be Wakui against Jackson tomorrow, the second game of this series. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the lefty holds set. Now delivers. Fastball swung on. Grounded up the middle. It gets through the pitcher and past the shortstop into center field. And that is going to be a single for Ibina. Stopping at second is Austin. The BayStars have something brewing here with 1 out, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Masaki Momori. I have to tell you, it was an absolute whiff by the pitcher. He should have fielded that ball. It was a chopper. He stuck his glove up and the ball bounced right over top of the glove. He makes that play. It's a tailor-made double play. But instead, the ball got past him and it got up the middle into center field. And that is going to bring up Momori to the plate here with runners at first and second. I wonder how many jams that they would consider letting the young lefty get into and have to get out of. He got himself in a bit of trouble in the second inning and wiggled himself out. So runners at first and second, 1 gone here. There's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded over to the right side, through the 4-hole into right field. Rounding third is Austin, but he's going to throw on the brakes. I don't know. I think the way that throw went, he probably could have had an opportunity to try to come home and score. But that is going to load the bases here as Momori's got his second hit of the night. Austin stops at third. Ibina is at second, and it is going to bring the catcher, Yudai Yamamoto, to the plate. And at the same time, it's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. Have a few words with his young left-hander. So speaking of double play candidates, Yamamoto grounded into one his last time up. It was of the 5-4-3 variety, so I'm sure they're probably discussing what they may want as options here. I always find it fascinating. I know when I was in Europe, I didn't realize that the base umpires would be the ones breaking up the conference on the mound. With America, it is the home plate umpire will go out and break up the conference. but not in Europe and definitely not in Asia. Base umpires will do it, especially when you got to have a few words to say to the home plate umpire. So Yamamoto stepping on the bat here, 0 for 1. His average is dipped to 197 on the year. No homers and 11 RBIs. He's in a situation where he can drive in some runs. As the lefty holds to the set, here comes the first offering. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Yamamoto. Friend Phil says he's got a bad feeling in this spot. I said a few years ago, I think it was Sparky Anderson, the manager of the Reds and the Tigers, once said, I'll let you get into a jam once. You get into a jam a second time, we're taking you out. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on this ball is going to be lifted over the head of the third baseman into left field. That's going to get a pair of runs home. Austin comes in to score. He's followed by Yabina. And the BayStars have taken a 2-1 lead here on a 2-run single off the bat of Yamamoto. So the Dragons draw first blood, and the BayStars come right back with 2 of their own and have captured the lead of 2-1 here. A piece of base running there by the BayStars. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Takumu Hayashi. Masaki Momori had stopped at second. So runners are at first and second here as the shortstop Hayashi steps in. Still only 1 gone here in the inning. 61 pitches now for the young left-hander. Checks the runner, now delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Hayashi. BayStars fell behind 1-0 after the third inning. A home run by the catcher Kinoshita. They've roared back with a pair of their own here in the fourth to take the lead 2-1. Here comes the pitch. As the left-hander kicks and delivers a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 0-2. BayStars in the lead here. As the left-hander gets his side from his catcher. And the 0-2 is set to come. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-2 on Hayashi. Phil Cantelon says, let's get out of this. Now, you certainly need a ball to be rolled over here. Certainly, if you can retire Hayashi, the chances of getting out of this inning without any further damage go up as Anthony Kay is waiting his turn on deck. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Hayashi. He's going to be gone for the second time tonight on strikes. He's the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the aforementioned Anthony Kay. Well, for Anthony Kay, he is 1 for 5 on the season, batting a even 200. As the lefty ready to go. Kanamura getting his sign from his catcher. Kay struck out his first time up. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Kay swinging looks like a Sam bat. You're not familiar with that. That is, Sam bat was out of the Ottawa, Ontario area. I'm not sure if where they're producing exactly those bats now, as they had sold their company out. I believe they were sold to an American company. There was a breaking ball, misses inside. Count goes to 1-1, or at least the company was sold, not necessarily the brand name. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Anthony Kay as the left-hander holds set again. Checks the runner, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled back into the netting behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Kay. Not only are we going to call a Japanese game tomorrow, we're also going to look to call an MLB game earlier in the day. It's looking like it's going to be the Reds and the Braves. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Kay is in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it. But there's been damage done as the BayStars put a crooked number on the board. There were 2 runs in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, it is the BayStars 2, the Dragons 1. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Japanese baseball when we return.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
4 and 5 hitters to come to bat to face Anthony Kay, Seiji Ubiashi, Orlando Calixte, and Shonakata to face Kay here in inning number 4. Only blemish for Kay so far, the home run by Kinoshita in the last half inning, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ubiashi. Ubiashi grounded to first his first time up. He is 0 for 1 in this one. As the lefty Kay delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on, is popped up in the middle of the infield, moving over underneath it and making the catch. Is the second baseman Shugo Maki. That's going to retire Ubiashi for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Orlando Calixte. WDBZ says, how would MLB teams stack up against Japanese teams? The question is how would the Japanese teams stack up against MLB teams? Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I think if you took the BayStars, the champions last year of the NPB, and you put them in Major League Baseball, as the 0-1 is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded to third, fielded by Momori. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Calixte on a ground out 5-3. 2 in the books. And I'll leave it up to the first baseman, Shonakata. I would put it this way. I would think that the BayStars could probably be about, I'd say, a 78-win team. They often say that the NPB, the teams in the NPB are AAA caliber. Maybe 75. That would be the best. 75, 78 wins. As the first pitch from Kay on the way, there's a breaking ball, misses down and away. And here's the reason why. Number one is the import player requirements, or that the Japanese or restrictions put on their teams. You can only have 3 imports in the game at one time and 4 on a game sheet. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. When you think about it in Major League Baseball, there are no requirements at the MLB level. You can think some teams with their pitchers and their defense, they might have potentially on a roster 10, 12 players. As that breaking ball takes it for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So when you are pooling from the world, you can have anybody in your lineup. It's not just restricted to Americans. It starts to really increase the talent pool. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle, fielded on the run by the shortstop, Hayashi, who throws to first. That's going to do it for Nakata. He's gone on a ground out 6-3. It's going to do it here for the Dragons in their half of the fourth. They go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We are moving now to the top of the 5th inning. The score is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons 1. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. We've got a score line of 2-1 for the BayStars. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Starter Kanemura is just completing his tune-up tosses. We'll be ready to resume this one, as it'll be the top of the order coming up for the BayStars in Kuwahara, Maki, and Watari. Our friend WDBZ says, how is Bauer doing in Japan? Bauer pitched the other night. We called the game on Saturday, as it is, or I should say on Friday night. It was the Saturday game in Japan. And he got his second win of the year against 3 defeats, 122 pitches, and shut out the Murray Giants in that one there. You don't see that very often in Major League Baseball, 122 pitches for a shutout. As the first pitch is a breaking ball on the way. It's swung on a grounded foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count is quickly 0-1. Kanemura today is 1 for 2, singled and grounded out in his 2 trips. It's funny, when Bauer does not very well, it'll reach the U.S. media as soon as he starts pitching decent. All the crickets come out. Nobody wants to say anything good about Trevor Bauer. Here's the 0-1 breaking ball that just misses low, and the count goes to 1-1. I find it somewhat hypocritical in some ways. I mean, what he does off the field, you can go through the NFL, and it looks like a list of convicts, prisoners, felons, whatever you might want to call it. All of a sudden in Major League Baseball, you got somebody who's not even proven guilty in a court of law. He is canceled for sure in American culture, as that baseball was hit to right field. Hosokawa came charging in, and he makes the catch, and Kuwahara is retired for the first out of the inning. He'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. By no means am I defending Bauer in the off-field issues, but I would say this, is that In the court of law, he was not found guilty. In the court of public opinion, he has been hung numerous times over, unfortunately. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Shugo Maki. Maki 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips. Captain of the BayStars hitting .281 on the season. As the lefty rocks into the motion, and he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Maki. Lefty getting his sign. He's ready to go. He rocks himself into the windup. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and in. It's now 2-1 to Maki. We mentioned that Maki had accounted for the only run for the BayStars in last night's loss to the Giants, as he had hit the solo shot late in the ball game. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, fastball swung on, cued off the end of the bat, hit over to the second baseman Yamamoto, who fields it and throws to first. And Maki's retired on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to the left fielder in Ryuki Watari. Our friend WDBZ says, yeah, it's funny. Trevor Bauer is funny and a good athlete. It sucks what happened in the MLB. The other thing is, too, is that in Los Angeles, you look at some of these teams and some of the owners, Trevor Bauer, where there's smoke, there could be fire. He's an eccentric guy. He's a smart guy. And that sometimes it could be intimidating for a lot of this management group. Is in baseball. There's a fastball swung on, is taken on 1 hop by the first baseman Nakata. He's going to win the race to the base, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out to 3 to end the inning here, as the BayStars go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a little bit right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the former BayStar Seiya Hosokawa to come to bat to lead it off here in inning number 5. It'll be followed by Takuya Kinoshita and Christian Rodriguez, as the BayStars have a 2-1 lead here over the Dragons. And the first pitch from K is a fastball that misses inside for ball 1. 43 pitches through 3 innings for the American left-hander. He has been very efficient here tonight. Only blemish is the home run by Kinoshita on his record here in this one. There's a fastball swung on, his ground to the left side, fielded deep into the 6th hole. Nice play by the shortstop, Hayashi, who throws over to first. That is going to retire the runner, Hosokawa, and he's grabbing for his hamstring. So I have a feeling that that is going to be the end of the night here for Seo Hosokawa as he is walking off the field. I would be shocked. We'll take a look at his swing. He had taken about 3 or 4 steps out of the box. And then all of a sudden, actually, we got to the 45-foot stripe. And he reached for his right hamstring, and that looks like that is going to be the end of the night for him. I'd be shocked if he carried on, as he is taken right down the tunnel. I would think we're probably going to see somebody in the next half inning in right field. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kinoshita. As the lefty K ready to go here. Rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1-0. Kinoshita had that home run in the 3rd inning. As the lefty Bauer delivers again, a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. You're in the last half of the 5th inning. 2-1 lead for the BayStars. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. I think Kinoshita wants that one back. Would have been right in his wheelhouse. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down. And the count goes to 3-1. Only had 2 base runners tonight have the Dragons. One of them was Kinoshita's home run. The other was a walk to Okabayashi. So that has been quiet night here for the Dragons. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 3-2. So Kinoshita waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from K, who kicks and fires. Fastball just misses outside. K wanted that pitch. It's going to be ball 4. I think he's got a beef there. He's been all around the zone tonight. And that one just missed off the outside corner. He wanted that one bad. We got to look at the overhead view, but I have to tell you, home plate umpire did call the right or make the right decision. Lots of daylight between the ball and home plate. So that is going to bring up the shortstop in Christian Rodriguez. 0 for 2 on the season, 0 for 1 here tonight. As he bats from the right side against the left-handed throwing K. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses way outside. The count is 1-0. Curious to see if it is going to be Kanemura who comes to pitch or comes to bat. He is moving up into the on-deck circle. So the pitcher for the Dragons, they had a pinch hitter up there is getting themselves ready. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Christian Rodriguez. Rodriguez had made an error here in the ball game. But they were fortunate as no damage had been done from that error back in the 3rd inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken under the hands for called strike. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike after this half inning. As we like to call it, the Japanese halftime. We will take a timeout ourselves. Going to go refresh our beverage here as the 2-1 is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded back to K. They go to second for 1. Over to first. It's going to be a double play. I think there's going to be some communication as it was Shugo Maki who took the throw. That is going to be a 1-4-3 double play. And that is going to do it here to end the inning. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was no hits. There was no errors. And there was nobody left the board. We are through 5 complete. Your score is the BayStars 2, the Dragons 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us today on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, guys. Music is on loop, and we'll be back in a bit.
This is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the sixth inning. We do have a new player in the ball game, as it looks like that it is going to be Hosokawa is going to be done. It's going to be number 66, and that is going to be Kosuke Ukai, as he will come into the ball game and he will play in left field. So they do have a couple of changes that will be made. I think Ubiashi is moving over to right, if I remember that correctly. So Kosuke Ukai in the game. And he is taking over for Hosokawa. That looked like a hamstring pull for sure. Our friend Davey says Trevor Bauer's his favorite pitcher. He isn't pitching today. No, he went in the Saturday game in Japan. So more than likely he will be, I would say there's a good chance he could be the Friday starter this week, as he will not appear in this series. They do have Thursday off, and so I'm thinking probably Friday, and if not Saturday for sure. But Friday, I'm guessing he will be his next start. The first pitch is a fastball delivered to Tyler Austin, and it swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. Austin today is officially not having it bad. He's got 2 walks. He has scored a run, and he was stranded at second base. So no balls and 1 strike. Davey wants to know, is he on a 5-day schedule? Yeah, I think he's got once every 5 days he's getting the ball, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be at fruition. Our 5-day rotation. They said they were going to make the quirk for that. So I'm curious to see how that goes, as there's a breaking ball down in the dirt and the count goes even at 1-1. Good for him. But he's getting that opportunity to be able to do that. They're working around it. As we said, he went for 122 pitches of shutout ball the other night. He's now 2-3. He's pitched well. He's actually hasn't had a whole lot of support. Even the 1 run the other night that he was able to get, he had to pitch perfect baseball. There's a fastball swung on and missed. So it goes to 1-2 again to Tyler Austin. He could probably use a ball game where they could jump a team for 7-8 runs. He could leave in the 6th inning, hardly breaking a sweat. But that is not the case yet for Bauer. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty rocks himself into the windup and delivers. As a fastball swung on it is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Ubiashi. He's there to make the catch. That is going to retire Austin for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It's going to bring up Tatsuo Ibina. Davey said he enjoyed his last game. Yeah, absolutely. You know, the thing is early on he wasn't the sharpest. It was really after about the 4th inning that he really settled down. He had some defensive help in those, I think it was innings 2 and 4, if I remember correctly, from the other night where he got some help. So Bina tonight is 1 for 2. He scored 1 of the 2 BayStar runs. Takes a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Bina struck out looking in the 2nd, and Singleton came home on the 2-run single off the bat of Yamamoto. As the left-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. I don't know what happened to Kinoshita back there. It looked like he had fallen over behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes now to Ibina. You know, like when somebody gets hit on a backswing and they kind of tumble over a bit. That's what it looked like, but he wasn't hit at all. Kind of strange. I don't know if he lost his balance or what the deal was. So no balls and 2 strikes is Kanemaru ready to deliver again here. He rocks himself slowly into the windup. Here's the 0-2. There's the breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The ball's in 2 strikes. It remains to Abina. All the damage has come from this part of the order with Austin, Abina, Momori, and Yamamoto. They were able to string some hits and walks together in that 4th inning, but outside of that, it's been pretty quiet the rest of the way. As the lefty Kanemaru rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball ticket for a called 3rd strike. Bina didn't like it in the 2nd inning when he got called out on strikes, and he doesn't like it here again in the 6th. But I have to tell you, that looked like a pretty darn good pitch from the lefty here. As that is going to be the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the 3rd baseman in Masaki Momori. Well, for Momori, he stands in here ready to face the left-hander. As Kanemaru rocks himself into the windup and delivers. The pitch is on the way. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is quickly 1-0. Momori is 2 for 2 tonight. He has 2 singles in both of his trips to the plate. He's raised his season average up to 256. As the lefty rocks and delivers. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the 6th inning, BayStars have themselves a 2-1 lead over the Dragons. As the left-hander kicks and fires. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. All the runs came within an inning of each other. The solo shot by Kinoshita in the 3rd, and the BayStars responding with 2 of their own in the 4th. That is where we stand here. Fastball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. Count now goes to 2-2 on Momori. And if my books are correct, it is 7 strikeouts tonight for the young left-hander. His NPB debut, he's at 89 pitches. As he nods in agreement with his catcher, he's ready to go. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As he rocks into the windup, he kicks and he fires. Fastball just misses. It's going to run the count to 3-2. Oh boy, he didn't miss that one by much. The catcher Kinoshita, just the way that he received that ball, you could tell that he wasn't happy with the home plate umpire. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the lefty rocks into the windup and delivers. And the pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And this battle is going to continue with Momori. Momori has been a thorn in the side of the starter here. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty ready to go again, rocking into the windup. As he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Momori's in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. 8 strikeouts now recorded by Kanemaru. And we are going to be moving ourselves to the bottom of the 6th inning. They go in order to the BayStars. No runs, no hits, no errors. And nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom half of inning number 6. It is supposed to be the 9-1-2 hitters to come to bat. I would be shocked if the pitcher is going to come to hit for the Dragons, but you never know. We'll have to be back and see in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is a 1-0 count. As we do have a pinch hitter, it is Shuhei Takahashi. He takes another breaking ball down, and the count is 2-0. 55 pitches through 5 innings for Anthony Kay. Another economical start here for the American left-hander. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1 to Takahashi. Pinch hitting here for the pitcher, as it'll be the end of the night there for the rookie Kanamura. Unfortunately, will be on the hook for the loss if the score remains the same. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-2. Phil Cantelon says both pitchers are pitching well, and yes, the only hit given up by Kay tonight was the home run to Kinoshita. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is chopped softly over to first. Fielded neatly by Tyler Austin. He's going to win the race to the bag. That's a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. We'll bring up the top of the order and Yuki Okabayashi. Well, for Okabayashi, he is 0 for 1. He has walked in his 2 trips. As he comes to the bat here, the left-handed hitting center fielder of the Dragons. As the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count is 1-0. So the Dragons are going to get somebody on base here. 2 walks outside of that hit allowed by Kay. As there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Okabayashi has one of them, and Kinoshita also has the other walk. Kinoshita has been on base twice here for the Dragons tonight. And he pitches a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Okabayashi. Be followed by Yasuhiro Yamamoto. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball that is swung on. It is lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. Question Davey asks, if you're the home team, you always have last wraps. It means you hit at the bottom. Visitors always hit first. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 1-2. Jason Lopez says the bottom. Yes, indeed, Jason. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We used to say in the Midwest, we used to say last wraps for the team who hit last. Some people will say last licks. There's a baseball that misses outside. The count is 2-2. But that is always the home team. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's another fastball that misses outside. The count now goes full to Okabayashi. They need a base runner, and they need to be able to generate something here. Anthony Kay, who has only walked 3 batters in the 27 innings he's worked this year, he's already walked 2 in this one. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses up and away. That's going to be ball 4. So there's the 3rd walk. Our friend Jason says, how good are the BayStars? He threw 200 on them. Well, the BayStars were the defending Japan champions from 2024, so they're pretty darn good. But that being said, they have struggled this year. They're currently in 5th place out of the 6-team Central League. As that brings Yasuhiro Yamamoto to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to right and grounded to third in his 2 trips. And ironically, he is squaring to bunt here with 1 out. As Anthony Kay holds to the set position, here comes the pitch, but instead he throws over to first base, and getting back in time is the runner Okabayashi. Got to be concerned with Okabayashi. He does run pretty good. As waiting in here is the offering from the lefty again, but again they throw over to first base, and again getting back just in time as the runner Okabayashi. Any way to watch them live? Well, you can watch them live, but it sometimes is a little difficult to get a stream. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses upstairs. Anthony Kay not happy with the pitch. 1 ball and no strikes it is. They're definitely crashing in here. Looking to take away the bunt here from Yamamoto. So 1 ball and no strikes. Runner at first, as we said, Okabayashi. 1 gone here in the 6th inning. As again, they throw over to first base and getting back in time as the runner. A third baseman is right down the throat of the hitter Yamamoto. So Dragons looking to get this run back here as base runners have been a problem for them. As we said, 3 walks tonight here for Kay. And again, he throws over. They got the runner hung up. They throw down to second, and it's going to be in time. They picked them off. It's going to go into the books as a pickoff 1-3-6. But the manager, Inoue, has come out of the dugout, and he wants to go right up to the VAR immediately. So before we do anything else, we're going to wait here to see if that is indeed going to be the right call. I'll have to get a look at another replay. The replay we saw, it looked like the ball was there in time. I don't know if the tag was down in time. So as they are heading down the tunnel here, Jason says, are we familiar with the Chiba Lotte Marines? Are they good? Well, they're in last place right now. They're really struggling this year in the Pacific League. Chiba, as we get a look at the replay, I think they're going to overturn this. I think that's going to end up as a stolen base. I think the tag, the ball was there in plenty of time. The throw was up high. And I do think that Okabayashi is going to get into second base. If that is the case, it'll be a 6th stolen base of the year. So if we had to put our money down on that call, I think the call is going to get overturned. Friend Brandon Jensen in the house tonight. Welcome, Brandon. Brando, I don't know if you're going to be around after the game. We might check in with our good friend Jimmy, of course, hanging around. As Brando is checking out. Brando, if you want to see some good racks, go over to Brando's page. Just not the kind of racks I'm into, unfortunately. So I think this is not even going to be a long call. I can't believe they're taking as long as they are here. The angle that we got, or the couple angles we got, certainly showed this call should be overturned. The only way it wouldn't be overturned is if the NBA officials got their hands on it. Never been a big fan of the National Basketball League officiating. Our friend George Michael says, let's go Dragons. And here comes the umpire with the call here on this one. And they have overturned it. It is going to be safe. It's going to be a stolen base for Okabayashi. And that is going to put him into scoring position here. Friend Jason Lopez says, what's the live stream link? There is no live stream link for you. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on the Tokyo Broadcast System. You can watch it on J-Sport at Japan. That would be the straightaway link for you. So 1 ball and no strikes, says Yamamoto waits here on the offering from Anthony Kay. The runner at second, Okabayashi. There is a 1 gone here. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Now the count runs even to 1-1. So Yamamoto not bunting anymore. Dragons threatening here to try to put another run on the board to tie it up. How many bullets that they would let Anthony Kay roll with. Kay is slated to come up 3rd in the next half inning for the BayStars. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that's taken on the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamamoto. So the right-handed hitting second baseman of the Dragons, waggling the bat. Important part of the ball game here. Anthony Kay trying to Get himself out of this pickle here with the runner at second. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away down the third baseline, and the count is going to remain at 1-2 to Yamamoto. It's a full house tonight, or it's a full house today, I should say. It's afternoon baseball in Japan. A couple of day games today. Constitution Memorial Day was the 3rd, or is what the holiday was on the 3rd. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Yamamoto. He's gone in the books for the second out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder in Seiji Ubiyashi. Nico Linux says, what is Anthony Kay's pitch count at? Well, Anthony Kay's pitch count right now is at 74 pitches in the 6th inning. I would think by Japanese standards, he's got a lot of bullets left in the gun. Hassan Hamel says, do you think they can score one more run? I don't know who they is. Would that be the BayStars? I think both of these teams got a chance to score runs here. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-0 on Ubiyashi. Ubiyashi 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to first, and he has popped to second in his 2 trips. Nico says, you don't think this is the last inning? No, they play 9 in this league. We've got 3 more innings still to play. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as Kay delivers. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. So far tonight, Kay has only allowed the 1 hit, the home run to Kinoshita. He has issued 3 base on balls. And as we mentioned, in the 27 innings he had pitched entering into tonight's game, he had only walked 3, so he's already walked 3 here through the first 5 2/3 innings. Again, the lefty holds to the set. Here comes the 1-1. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses down. It's now 2-1 to Ubiyashi. Our friend Brandon in the house here tonight. Brandon, tonight must be the gambling night as we got the gamblers filtering in, which is good. We got all kinds of different people in the crowd. Some night it's gambling night. Some night it's baseball night. Some nights it is just the regulars that pop in. And some nights it is the 2-for-1 stripper night. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 2-2. That would be on Tuesday night, where it's 2-for-1. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ubiyashi. The Dragons fans urging and encouraging their home team on here. As Anthony Kay looking to get out of the 6th inning here without any damage. He checks the runner at second base. As he holds to the set, he now delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Ubiyashi's in the books. What a clutch performance there by Kay as he goes with back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. And that is going to do it here in the 6th for the Dragons. They had no runs, no hits, no errors. They did leave a runner aboard. We are now through 6 complete innings. It is the BayStars 2, the Dragons 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this little timeout.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. The Dragons are making a pitching change as they're going to the bullpen. It is going to be Yuki Hashimoto, who is coming on in relief here. He'll be the second pitcher used by the Chunichi Ball Club today. Our friend Jim asked the question, is Chiba the Marines? Yeah, it is. That is the Chiba Lotte Marines. As that game is going on, I believe it started at the top of the last hour. So Yuki Hashimoto on in relief, as it'll be the second pitcher used tonight by the Dragons. So I'll be curious to see how this is going to play out here, as he is just completing his warm-up tosses. Talking about runs in this game, do I think there could be more runs scored? Yeah, I do. I'm just not confident in the bullpens really of either team per se. At the moment, I should say. I'm not sure at the best of times I'm confident in the Dragons bullpen, but the BayStars bullpen seems to be getting it together a little bit later, or a little bit recently. Their early part of the season, their bullpen was a little bit shaky at times. So here comes the first pitch. That is a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. It is Yudai Yamamoto, and then it'll be Takumu Hayashi and Anthony Kay, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Yamamoto is 1 for 2 today. He grounded into a double play, and he has banged home both of the BayStar runs with a 2-run single back in the fourth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short, fielded by Rodriguez. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Yamamoto on a ground out 6-3. So one of the books, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Takumu Hayashi. Jason says, what got you into commentating for Japanese baseball? We've been doing this for a few years now. It's been a lot of fun. Great fun in going to the games. Great fun in the atmosphere at the games. If you get a chance when you're in Japan, make sure you take in at least one, if not more. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Hayashi. Hayashi 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out both times. He has come to the plate, but that was against the starter, Kanemura. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count goes to 1-1. Gunnar says, you think it could go over 3.5? Yeah, we do. Yep, they just got to get one run between these two teams. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed again. The count goes to 1-2 on Hayashi. Jim asked if we live in Japan. No, we don't. But there are a number of times, one of the greatest countries in the world to ever get a chance to do it. Jason wants to know if we're covering the Marines tonight. No, actually, we're calling it a night. We're going to do a double dip tomorrow. There's a fastball swung on, grounded to second. Fielded neatly by the Dragons second baseman, Yamamoto, and he is going to retire Hayashi on a ground out 4-3. That's going to put him in the books for the second out of the inning, and it'll bring up the pitcher in Anthony Kay. And it is going to bring Anthony Kay to the plate. They aren't going to let him hit, so that means that we're going to see him for the bottom of the seventh inning. Kay tonight 0 for 2 has struck out both of his trips to the plate. He is 1 for 6 on the season. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count quickly goes to 1-0 on Kay. Tomorrow night we'll be back on the airwaves again, as we will do the Buffaloes and the Fighters tomorrow night, Pacific League. As the 1-0 is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. We'll also do a major league game earlier than that. We'll probably do the Braves and the Reds. So a doubleheader tomorrow on Monday, and then we'll take Tuesday off. We'll need to come back at it again on Wednesday and later in the week, as that breaking ball is taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2 to Anthony K. We'll set up some of our schedule. More Japanese games will be on next weekend. As the 1-2 is on the way, there's a fastball missing down and away. The count's 2-2 to K. Davey says putting $500 is a flight to and from Japan. There's a fastball that is swung on and lifted foul, and the count is going to remain at 2-2 to K. George Michael wants to know about why Takahashi has struggled this year. I don't think it's just not just this year, it's last year too. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. And that is going to do it. K has gone in the books. He's out for the third out of the inning. And the BayStars go quietly here in the seventh. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. You have a score as we move to the bottom of the seventh inning. It is the Dragons trailing the BayStars 2-1. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We're going to be doing our take you out to the ball game Japanese style. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Nico says, "Do you see my message? Is there a chance he gets taken out in the seventh?" I doubt it. They let him hit, so he's coming back out, one would have to think, for another inning. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We'll find out when we get back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat here for the Dragons in inning number 7. Orlando Calixte, Sho Nakata, and it'll be Kosuke Ukai to face the left-hander Anthony K, who will begin his 7th inning of work. Calixte 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to center and grounded to third as he steps in here to face the American left-hander, who will begin his 7th inning of work. The first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul behind home plate. The count is quickly 0-1. Davey says a VPN can help. Absolutely it can. That's one thing. Some of the places that carry the games: Amazon Prime, Yahoo Sports. As the fastball is swung on, it is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And Calixte has got himself a base hit. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Sho Nakata. So the second hit of the night here for the Dragons as the crowd is sent into a frenzy. I guess you got to take the small W's where you can. Nico Linux says, anybody in the bullpen? That's the problem at most of the Japanese venues, is you don't get a good look at the bullpen area. A lot of the bullpens are under the stands unless you're in Saitama, where the Cebu Lions call home, or to Kurosawa, I guess, to be more appropriate. As theirs is not on the field, but it's in the field of play. There's a ground ball hit over to short. They go to second for 1, back to first, and it's going to be a double play. So 2 for the price of 1 as Nakata goes into the 6-4-3 double play. And that is going to leave it all up to the left fielder in Kosuke Ukai. So Akai coming to bat here. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to third and grounded to short in his 2 trips to the plate. Or check that. Actually, he is only grounded out to short. He had replaced Seiya Hosokawa to leave the ball game. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Batting from the right side here against K, and the pitch is a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and the count goes to 1-1. Gunnar asked the question, are there home runs ever? There was a home run in this game. It was a wall scraper by Kinoshita, the catcher of the Dragons. That's been their only run. 1-1 pitch. It is a breaking ball down, but the home plate umpire says that Akai had went around. It's going to run the count to 1-2. Davey says, sadly, can't get a good view of the bullpen. The Pacific League, at least you can get some of the cameras will show you when guys are up and throwing. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit as it bounces in front of the right fielder, Ibina. And that is going to make the 2-out single here for Akai, and that'll bring up the catcher, the aforementioned catcher, and Takuya Kinoshita. Kinoshita has accounted for the only run, and up until this inning, he had the only hit for the Chunichi Dragons. He's officially 1 for 1 tonight. He's also drawn a walk. So batting from the right side here is the right-handed hitting catcher. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving to his right a little bit and making the catch is Kuwahara, and that is going to do it as the Dragons go quietly here in the 8th inning, or sorry, in the 7th inning, as the fly ball went to center field for the final out. No runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left the Your score as we move to the top of inning number 8. It is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons 1. Stick around, everybody. Back in just a couple of moments. I have a feeling we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. We'll get that for you when we come back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change as the Dragons are going to their bullpen. It is going to be Tatsuya Shimizu, who is coming on in relief, a right-hander, as he is going to be the 3rd pitcher used by the Dragons here in this one. So as we get him into our books, that is Tatsuya Shimizu on in relief. And he will be set to face the top of the order for the BayStars, which will mean Kuwahara, Maki, and Watari slated to come to bat here in the 8th inning for the BayStars. Both of these teams are getting an opportunity or are running out of outs. So this will be the tougher part of the batting order to come to bat here for the BayStars in this one. Just taking a quick peek at that out-of-town scoreboard. It is 1-0 for the Tohoku Rocket and Golden Eagles over the Marines. That is in the top of the 4th inning at the Zozo Marine. Have to tip my hat to the Eagles. They're playing some pretty good ball. all things considered. I didn't think that they would be very good this year, but they've been playing decent as of late. So the right-hander Shimizu ready to go to work as he faces Kuwahara. First pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner and counts quickly 0-1. Kuwahara tonight 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's another breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Dragons started a rookie left-hander here tonight, making his NPB debut. Right now, he would be tagged with the loss if the Dragons can't get another run for him. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And Kuwahara is going to be aboard with a leadoff single. And that is going to bring Shugo Maki to the plate. Well, for Maki, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice and struck out. It is 3 trips to the plate. Maki batting .278 on the season. Hit his 5th home run of the year last night in a losing cause for the BayStars. Against the Yomiuri Giants. We were on the call of that one there. 3 nights in a row we've had the BayStars. As the right-hander works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Might be a bunt situation here, but you're not going to see Shugo Maki bunt. He's one of the best hitters in the NPB. He is a run producer, and he can really, really swing the bat, the second baseman of the BayStars. As the right-hander Shimizu holds to the set position, here comes the 0-1. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is the left fielder, Yukai, who fires it back in. Just got underneath that one, did Maki. But he has gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Ryuki Wataru. So Watari coming to bat. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice, and he has flown out to left field. As he waggles the bat here, waiting on the first pitch here from the right-hander Shimizu. And Shimizu throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner. Tari here. Digging himself back in here, ready to get himself to face the first offering here from the right-hander Shimizu. As the right-hander holds set, here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to short. They go to second for the force. And they're not going to get Watari on the back end. It's going to erase Kuwahara on a fielder's choice, 6-4. That was a pretty dangerous play by Rodriguez. A little surprised that he would underhand flip it, almost moving away from the bag, but they were able to get the play. Atari is going to reach on the fielder's choice, and that is going to bring up the first baseman in Tyler Austin. Well, for Austin, he's been aboard twice tonight on base on balls. He's also flown out to right field. He's still searching for his first home run of the 2025 season. He's got no homers and 3 runs driven in. A lot of the time spent on the injured list. Last year he had hit 23 homers, the year before 24. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander Shimizu ready to go back at it again. One thing I hadn't noticed is that ball ended up in the dirt, but I didn't see if they threw that one out of play. In Major League Baseball, that would be disposed of. As the 1-0 pitch Instead goes over to first base, diving back in time as the base runner Watari. Keep meaning to look for that in the Japanese league. If the ball bounces in the dirt, do they get rid of it or do they keep it in play? Again, the right-hander Shimizu holds to the belt. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball that misses down, and the count now is 1-0 to Tyler Austin. So 1 ball and no strikes. Gunnar is asking what base is he on. Runner is at first with 2 gone here in the 8th inning. BayStars clinging to a 2-1 lead over the BayStars, or over the Dragons. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Shimizu delivers. Fastball swung on and popped foul behind home plate as it drifts into the seats. Count is now 2-1 to Austin. Excited to see the Buffaloes and the Fighters tomorrow night. It'll be a 10 o'clock Pacific first pitch, 1 a.m. Eastern if you're in North America, or 2 p.m. if you are in the land of the rising sun. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. And after tomorrow night, we will be doing some Major League stuff during the week, so if you're interested, check in on that. And it'll be back to the Japanese League for the Saturday and Sunday Japan time games. You do get Thursday off this week to the teams as the 3-1 pitch is ready to go. There's a breaking ball, misses upstairs, and Tyler Austin is going to draw his 3rd walk of the night. That's going to advance Watari into scoring position at second base. And it's going to bring up the right fielder in Tetsuo Ibina. Well, for Ibina, he has 1 for 3. Looks like that is the end of the night for Tyler Austin. We're going to have a pinch runner for him as the BayStars have gone to the bench. It's going to be number 31, Tatsuhiro Shibata, on to run for Austin here. So some speed on the base paths for the BayStars. Gunnar keeps asking the same question. Does 3.5 still have a chance? Of course it does. I mean, but with each passing out, it becomes less and less of a chance. Over 7.5 has a chance. Actually, over 6.5 has a chance. A lot less chance than 3.5. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Ibina. Runner in scoring position, Watari, the other runner at first base, is the pinch runner for Austin. So here comes the 1-0 offering as Ibina waits in here. Kicks and fires. It is a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. Probably the best advice of the night from Jason Lopez is you should probably stop gambling. Sweating Japanese baseball is a tough one. Yeah, absolutely. Under 5.5 is also probably doable. There's a fastball that goes all the way to the backstop, and it knocks the hitter down. That's going to advance 2 runners in scoring position. As Kinoshita had that one, I don't know if he got crossed up or not. 2 balls and 1 strike, but that is as wild a pitch as you're going to see. Advancing to third is Watari. The pinch runner for Austin is now at second base. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 gone here in the 8th inning. BayStars are threatening here. A base hit here could score potentially 2 runs. So the right-hander holds to the set position. Here comes the 2-1 offering. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Now the count goes to 2-2. I would have to say, if there was sometimes ESPN on the North American games would do odds meters, I would say probably right now the chances of the BayStars winning this game has got to be over 75%. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander holds himself into the set at the belt. And now Ibina has asked for time as he steps out of the batter's box. Jim Wynn is pumping the fist for a strikeout here. Shimizu's been actually, to be honest with you, he's been fairly average here in this one since starting the inning and coming on in relief here in this top half of inning number 8. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the pitch is a fastball that misses way upstairs. Kinoshita had to spring up to catch that one. That's going to run the count full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ibina. Jason says, best live stream he's been in all year. As we said on Tuesday night, we bring in the stripper poles. You'll have to be there for that. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, but the midgets that slide down them are not that agile. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set and delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, and it's going to load the bases. Ibina is going to reach, so back-to-back walks issued here by Shimizu. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Masaki Momori. So we got trouble in River City here. We got Momori coming to bat. He is 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles and a strikeout to his name. So the former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk, a little gardening in the batter's box, getting himself set. Batting .253 on the season, no homers and 3 RBIs. As the right-hander ready to go, I don't know. I wouldn't put money on Momori hitting a grand slam. He does have a little bit of pop, but not a lot of pop. He's more for his speed. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Momori. Phil Cantillon with a appropriate piece in the chat there. He says this pitcher sucks. Yeah, he's not having a good night tonight, that is for sure. He's brought his gasoline can to the mound and soaked it up. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And now Momori is in the hole at 0-2. This is getting into the bottom part of the batting order for the BayStars here with Momori batting. I think you probably are asking who's coming up for the Dragons. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Dragons as they will when they move to the bottom half of inning number 8. So the right-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the 0-2. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is looped, and it is cut by Calixte at third. Oh, boy, it almost got over his head. He walks the ladder to get it, and Momori is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. If that ball would have got over his head, it would have been trouble. That would have been at least 2 runs. But instead, it is the 3rd out of the inning, and Momori is gone, as are the BayStars in the 8th. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 spots in the batting order. It'll be Christian Rodriguez to lead it off. That'll be the pitcher's spot in the batting order where we expect a pinch hitter. And then the top of the order for the Dragons. And the first pitch is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. 86 pitches through 7 innings for Anthony Kay, as he has been cruising here for the most of the night. If he can get through this inning here, I would think that maybe Issei will come in for the 9th. As that breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Rodriguez. Surprised Gunnar is still with us. I thought he was out on the ledge somewhere. Maybe walking the ledge around and about. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on it, is popped up on the infield. It is playable. Coming in underneath it is the third baseman for the BayStars, and that is going to be making the catch. And we'll retire that. I don't know if that's still Mamori as much as it is the third baseman. I think they moved Mamori over to the other side of the infield. But regardless, the third baseman has made the catch, and it is going to bring up a pinch hitter here, as it is going to be Jason Vossler coming to the plate. Vossler hitting .250 on the year with a homer and 7 RBIs. So he did not get the start in this one here tonight. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Fouls that one right off his lead foot. He's going to hobble around. Welcome to the game. Oh, not off his foot. He fouled it off his knee. Ouch. So Vossler is going to hobble around here for a little bit as the trainer has come out. Nothing like coming off the bench and fouling a 90-mile-an-hour fastball off of your kneecap. So no balls and 1 strike here as Vossler gets himself reset as he hobbles back into the batter's box. It'll be the top of the order. Yuki Okabayashi waiting his turn on deck. Anthony Kay takes a breath, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2. So Vossler in the hole. The former Cincinnati Red, Seattle Mariner, San Francisco Giant in his first season in the NPB. As the lefty K rocks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. It's outside. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but he says that Vossler didn't go, so like a cat, he's got an extra life here. Still 2-1 for the BayStars here. Our friend Brandon Jensen. As we are in the bottom of the 8th inning, as the pitch on the way is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, what a pitch by Anthony Kay. Vossler stood there like the house on the side of the road, and he watched it drop in. That ball had a little extra movement to it. A lot of late break. Okay, what a beautiful pitch by him. As that is going to retire Vossler for the second out of the inning. It'll bring the top of the order up in Yuki Okabayashi. Well, for Okabayashi, he's 0 for 1 tonight, and he swings at the first pitch, grounds it to short. They fire to first, and that is going to do it as the Dragons are gone on a ground out 6-3. And that is going to do it here in the 8th inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're going to have another pitching change when we come back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Your score as we move to the 9th inning, it is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons 1. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Japanese baseball, and we'll be right back after this from our friend Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a pitching change for the Dragons as it's going to be the fourth pitcher used tonight. It is going to be Junior Marte who is coming on in relief as he will take over here. He's going to be entrusted to face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order. So for some of our friends who are listening in, the question is going to be, is Anthony Kay going to hit in this inning? If the answer is yes, he will come out for the 9th. If the answer is no, then obviously he's not coming back out for the 9th. But even if he does hit, one would have to think he might get an opportunity to close the deal out here by himself. If not, I think maybe it's going to be Issei that will come in, who has been pretty good for the BayStars this year. But we'll have to see how this all plays out in a minute. But I also think, should one of the first two batters get on, Anthony Kay's night could be done, as they would probably look to try to pinch hit and drive them in there. So this is going to bring Yuta Yamamoto to the plate. Yamamoto has driven in both BayStar runs tonight. As he had singled in the fourth, he is 1 for 3. He's grounded into a double play and grounded to short. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Marte working himself into the set and now delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count's 1-1. I haven't really seen Marte pitch very much. Just to give you an idea, he's all arms and legs. He gets the big leg lift and everything comes flying in different directions. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that's dropping in for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. Redbeard Break says, what kind of club was that? Absolutely. What it should be is, it should be a Crown Royal club, if anything. As there's a breaking ball that misses, and the count's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yamamoto. As the right-hander Marte works himself to the belt, and now time has been called, as Yamamoto doesn't feel as if he's been set. So here we go. Here comes the offering from Junior Marte. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yamamoto is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Takumo Hayashi. One thing that the Japanese do is that they will put somebody on deck. It may not be the pitcher. The pitcher will be sitting there, and they'll have somebody in the on-deck circle taking some swings, and then right before they'll make the decision to bring the pitcher out to hit. It's kind of an interesting piece. Here comes the first offering. It's a fastball swung on and missed by Hayashi. Hayashi's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out twice and grounded to second. The word I would use to describe Hayashi at the plate is overmatched. He is not a hitter who can catch up to the NPB pitching. Fastball misses down. The count is 1-1. Entered the fray tonight hitting .211. And I don't think that's because the ball has hit the bat or the bat has hit the ball. It's because the ball has hit the bat. As the right-hander holds to the set, here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base line. The count goes to 1-2. Well, you win some, you lose some, Gunner. That's what happens. But it's never over until it's over, as they used to say. So you still got a little bit of time here for another run to cross the plate. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. As there's a fastball that is down. It is swung on and sliced down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count remains at 1-2 to Hayashi. Just a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow for the Buffaloes and the Fighters. So if you guys are in the neighborhood and want to come on by and check it out, be sure to do so. It'll be 2-for-1 drink night tomorrow night, as there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count remains at 1-2. That means when you come in, you have to buy the host 2-for-1 drinks. And we'll be sloshed by the third inning, I would think. So 1-2 to Hayashi as he bats here with 1 gone in the 9th inning, as the right-hander Marte holds to the set. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side, fielded neatly and thrown to first by the second baseman Yamamoto. That is going to retire Hayashi. Ground out 4-3. So this is the big moment right here. Is Kay going to bat? Or are we going to have a pinch hitter here for the American pitcher? We're going to get a chance to see this right about now. And I can tell you this, that is going to be the end of the night for Anthony Kay. We do have a pinch hitter coming in here for Yokohama. So 8 strong innings as his night will be over. It's going to be Yasutaka Tobashira, one of the catchers. So Tobashira on the season hitting .313 as the first pitch is outside. And the count is quickly 1-0. Certainly, Anthony Kay striking out. We've seen that act before. So who knows what could happen here in the 9th inning. So Tobashira waiting on the offering. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. So 1-1 strike. Diane says, can you do the Chiba and Tohoku game next? Now, we're tapping out tonight. We're going to do games tomorrow night, but that is not on the schedule for tonight. We're going to do the Reds and the Braves early on. Our good friend Jimmy is there. So we'll see how this is going to work out. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. It'll be the Buffaloes and the Fighters tomorrow. Long day for us today. Not as long tomorrow. So 1-2 strikes it is here as Marte works himself to the set. And the pitch on the way is split finger pitch, swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. They're going to have to throw it to first. It's going to be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Dragons got one more crack to try to get a run. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Yamamoto, Ubiyashi, and Calixte when we come back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9th inning here, and we do have ourselves a pitching change, but it's not who I thought it was going to be. I thought we might see Issei in here. It's going to be number 22 for the BayStars, and that means it is going to be Taisi Iri, or Ira, as they might say. So we'll see how that is going to play out here. We saw Hiromu Issei close out games, so who knows? I don't know. I haven't seen Iri here in a while, so I'm not sure why they are going this route. They did have the day off yesterday, so Taisi Iri is in here. It's like Ireland, IRA, or however they would say it in other countries. So IRIE. So that is where we stand here. So he has completed his tune-up tosses. And it's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters slated to come to bat here for the Dragons here in this one. As it'll be Yamamoto, Ubiashi, and Calixte. Our friend Gunner is going to start a GoFundMe page. There you go, Gunner. So Yamamoto is striding to the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. In fact, the 3 hitters to come to bat here are combined 1 for 9 against the BayStars pitching. But Anthony K is done. They need a base runner here. Do the Dragons as the first pitch here on the way from the right-hander era. And is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. That's what you want for your relievers. Come in and throw strikes. Get ahead in the count. Makes it a very difficult time here for the hitters. 216 is the average now on the year for Yamamoto. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. That pitch was at 98 miles an hour on the gun. So no balls and 2 strikes. Crowd is in good form here as they are cheering their Dragons on, trying to will them to victory. So as the right-hander works himself to the set and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's sliced down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. So the count is 0-2. Ghosty says, can you do a shout-out for me when the BayStars win? Looks like our friend Redbeard is finally taking some action there. Putting Gunner in a timeout. Yeah, that's not the worst thing. There's the breaking ball that misses upstairs. Count is 1-2. Yeah, I hate to say it. You come into a chat room and you tell everybody how you're concerned about the winning or losing of some of the money. There's a fastball that swung on it. It's lifted foul down the right field line, and the count is 1-2. What did they say? I remember there was our friend Shotgun Shell, who we haven't seen in a while. Shotgun Shell would come in and he'd say there's 2 things when you gamble. There's liars and there's losers. And so not sure which one somebody would fit into that category. That is certainly the case. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Yamamoto is just overmatched. He's down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Seiji Ubiashi to the plate. Our friend Jason Lopez says the best advice about gambling is not to gamble unless it's a lock like the Dragons on Moneyline. There you go. So that brings Ubiashi to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this one. Dragons looking for any way to get on base. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul just past the bag at first base. Count is 0-1. Only 3 hits tonight for the Dragons. Home run by Kinoshita. The other hits belong to Calixte and Ukai. And that's it. It has been a premium of base hits here tonight for the Nagoya Baseball Club. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, we don't mind people talking in the chat. It's just where it gets a little bit silly about certain things. So here comes the 1-1. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. And the count goes to 2-1. I don't even mind people talking about the gambling either. It's just, certain stuff that just gets carried away. Anyways, just make sure you check on Gunner after the game and make sure that he's all right. Might be swinging from a tree. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Oh boy, that was a kind of a generous call by the home plate umpire. I think that was the let's get the car started and let's get out of here strike. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Right-hander ready to go again. Erie, I think that's how you say his name. Looks like it is Ireland. As the pitch is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. As his grounded foul on the first base side. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the left-handed hitting Ubiashi battling it out here with the reliever Erie. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into foul territory. It's playable on the third base side. Racing in and making the catch is the third baseman for the BayStars. I had to get the confirmation of who that is after Momori had moved over to the other side of the infield. And that looks like it was Shibata who had got in there to be able to do that. So Shibata makes the out, and that is going to leave it all up to Orlando Calixte. Calixte tonight, well, he's got one of the 3 hits. They're going to need him here. The first pitch is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's also grounded out to third and flown to center. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up down the right field line. If it's going to be playable, it's going to be the ball game, and it's going to be hauled in by the right fielder, Ibina, and that is going to do it here as the Dragons fall to the BayStars 2-1. They go in order here in the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. I'm going to come back and wrap this one up for you. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the game between the Marines and the Golden Eagles. Then we're going to call it a night. Your final score is Yokohama DeNA BayStars 2 and the Chunichi Dragons 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate everybody who came into the stream tonight. That includes Gunner, too. Gunner needed to be put into the timeout category for a little bit, and we hope he does come back in the future. He did come back and say he was sorry, and maybe we will see him in the future stream. Good old Jimmy with the hot hand here tonight in this one. We'll give it the roundup of this. We'll go look at the game between the Marines and the Eagles, and we're going to call it a night. It is a 2-1 final. The scoring in this one was pretty simple, pretty easy. Bottom of the 3rd inning, it was Takuya Kinoshita led off with a home run that gave the Dragons an early 1-0 lead. And then the BayStars responded with the pair of their own in the 4th with 1 out. A walk to Tyler Austin, a single by Ibina, a single by Masaki Momori loaded the bases. And Yudai Yamamoto, the catcher, stepped up and hit a 2-run single to bring home Austin and Ibina. And that is where the scoring stood, and that's where it ended. Your final score is the BayStars 2 and the Dragons won. The win will go to Anthony Kay. He moves to 3-1 on the year. Yumeto Kanamura, he takes the loss in his NPB debut as a pretty impressive performance, but just not good enough. Taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, there is the other game that is currently going on. That is between the Marines and the Eagles. And that game is currently in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 1-1 between the Eagles and the Marines. In that particular game, if we go and take a quick peek on the roundup, Eagles got a run in the top of the 3rd inning. Marines responded with one of their own in the bottom of the 4th. In that one there, just taking a quick peek to see if we were able to capture who had driven runs in and who didn't. Looks like it was Murayama for the Eagles, the shortstop, who had driven the only run in. He was able to knock in Nakajima, the center fielder, and that gave them the early 1-0 lead in the. Doesn't really give us the information. I don't think they had an RBI for the Marines in that one there. It looks like they may have scored their run in the 4th inning. That is how that one ended up working out. Well, everybody, I appreciate you guys once again for being here. Brandon, I don't know if you're going to be on a little bit here. I'm going to pop in and go see Jimmy for a little bit. We'll chat it out, finish it off. But we appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you again tomorrow night. I'll put the streams up at some point in time tomorrow. We're going to look to do the Reds and the Braves early on, Major League Baseball, and then more Japanese baseball later that evening. Thanks again, guys. We will catch up with you a little bit sooner than later. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon.